Honorable Dominic Wetangula, our great father, the father of Right Honorable Speaker, and Right Honorable Speaker, Your Excellency, he is our patron. Na sisi kama Babutu, we thank you so much kwa kunzita kumpea nafasi hiyo. Ni mtu ambaye tunamuenzi, tunampenda.
Mirembe, as we say in Bunyore. I have come here with a big representation from Bunyore. Bunyore being where we come from and where Mary comes from. Mary is my sister who got married into the CHEBUKATI family about 36 years ago. So we have representation from place called so that's a representation and mourn together with men in the a very dear brother and a very dear friend. Late Kati as Chati, some call him WAFULA CHEBUKATI, but people just call it. That's how we over the years, and that's how we've been referring to him every time we relate with him. That's the name that we attribute to him as a brother-in-law. Now we just want to remember Wanyoni CHEBUKATI just for three things, probably even four. One is we have a lead make a difference. Jobs in midst of situation, but the other day, so that we've known of him over the years up to his demise about 2 weeks ago. The other aspect that we would associate with our late brother is really three things: honesty, integrity, and respect. Whatever they say about Wanyoni, those three attributes is really what our respect for our views, his views, which drove himself and ourselves. We see a lot of comments in social media about are really not the negative ones, but the person today. And so our in-laws with Wanyoni is really doing the right things. What is the right thing to do? Faced with several different circumstances. I didn't say this is what is going to follow, but from away from all that, he always to his brother to always just think through what is the right thing to do. He fought. Even when I caught up with him about 2 days ago, you could see that he is fighting. That's what he is arguing. We are proud and honored that we have to share CHEBUKATI, and we wish very well as he goes on in his report with God. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Curtis. Speaking on behalf of the
immediate family, we've always stood firm, been strengthened by God, and we are going to sing this song. It's actually a Luya song, and the choir of Gethsemane is going to help us on this. Ruben, when you're ready, please. You give us the cue, please. We'll just sing 2 stanzas.
nitasema Kiluya au Kikenya, Kiluya au Kikenya, Kenya ndio Kiswahili na Kiingereza. Napenda kwa watu wote wanaumbwa na Mungu, wote wanaumbwa na Mungu. CHEBUKATI kama huyu na yake WAFULA CHEBUKATI. Huyu kwanza ni mtoto mzuri, nitafata kwa hiyo kumsalamia nyinyi wote. Hamjambo, hamjambo tena. Shukuru Mungu anajua mahali na mimi na mama tutafata. Mimi na mama tutafata. Kwa hivyo sina mengi, ni hayo tu. Asante.
Asante sana. Asante sana kwa salamu. At this juncture, I will be calling the immediate family, Emmanuel, Jonathan, of course, Rachel, together with Mama Mary. If you could just come to give your tributes, and then from there we will listen to the word of God and we will proceed with the service.
All protocols observed. Good morning once again. This is a tribute to my father. No one can mess with me when I'm in my bullfighting hat. These are my father's words spoken to me on the last full day we spent together. And I had that authentic Spanish hat that they wear during bullfighting competitions there. And he immediately said to me, I feel like a bullfighter already. And then he went on to say, nobody can mess with me when I'm in my bullfighting hat. That was the CHEBUKATI you knew, and that was the CHEBUKATI the world knew. A man you couldn't mess with. But through my eyes and through the eyes of the family members seated here, you will see him as simply the best father, husband, brother that you could ever have. It is said that if you think CHEBUKATI is tough, I don't know. Growing up in Nyali together, in Mombasa, each sure that everybody appended to. This was my dad, the companion. Driving was, this was my dad, the companion. Driving was another bond we shared. It started in Mombasa, where I often chauffeured him to his meetings. And over time, I became the designated family driver, much to the displeasure of my two older siblings seated here. Together, we traveled thousands of kilometers, Mombasa to Nairobi, Kitale, Njoro, and the Great Rift Valley. He was always in the passenger seat, guiding me with his steady voice. Of course, the road trips weren't without their hiccups. Whenever I hit a pothole too hard or took a turn too fast, my mother would grumble from the back seat, but he would always defend me and say, leave him alone. If I was driving, it would be much, much worse. And that was my dad, the unwavering supporter, a believer in my dreams. Later, I joined USIU Africa for a degree in applied computer technology. Upon graduation, I immediately secured an internship and then a job. However, when I sat down with him one evening at the Royal Golf Club's 19th hole, and Your Excellency, PCS might advise you what the 19th hole is all about, I told him I was resigning for my job. Initially, he was annoyed. He was wondering, how dare you resign before you get a new job? But when I told him I was going to pursue a master's degree, he lit up and the concern went away. He immediately supported me, buying me an air ticket, preparing my school fees, and giving me my blessing, giving me his blessing. This was my dad, a champion of continuous learning. While at Carnegie Mellon, he kept close tabs on me, regularly popping in during his work trips. He was proud of me when I was elected to serve as vice president of the Student Guild, and I was sworn into office the same day he assumed office as chairperson of IABC, and coincidentally the same day that President Donald Trump assumed office as President of the United States. Perhaps there's some similarity there. One time when he and my mother visited, he asked me to invite a few friends over, and 15 people showed up. They all wanted to see Chairman, and they were from all different nationalities at the university. Later in life, when he completed his term in office, they gifted him a stick, and it is this stick that he has used in his retirement as a symbol of his love and adoration for the African continent and for the gift that was given to him in Rwanda. When I started my business in Rwanda, we needed some money to secure some office space, and so my father gave me an interest-free 12-month loan of Kenya shillings 620,000. When we repaid him back 1 month early, the bank that we both banked with flagged this transaction. They said that this transaction is suspicious because I am the son of a politician. Of course, you all know that CHEBUKATI was not a politician. Later on, the same bank refused to open an account for another one of my businesses. And when my dad heard of this, he went together with my mom to the bank and they began closing accounts helter-skelter. This was my dad who never allowed his family to be mistreated, and you couldn't mess with him. As I grew into business, I would regularly consult him, and he would challenge me to go after more, do more, and market myself. After all, he had run a successful practice for over 30 years, so he knew a thing or two about business. Another evening on the 19th hole, after visiting the 19th hole at the golf club, he decided to escort me home, and I was excited that my father would finally get to see where I live. So I invited him, I showed him around, nikamwambia, ona mzee, kuna TV kubwa pale, ona mzee, kuna sofa, kuna fridge, and he was, he walked around and he never said anything. Then we went on to the balcony and I told him that I've secured clients and I'm doing very well and, there's this much in client billables. He looked at me and he simply said, "Iyo ni kidogo, you need to double your income, you need to do better." As time went on, my hard work was recognized and I was invited to Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh to receive an award. This is an award given to less than 100 alumni of over 100,000 globally. My father insisted on coming with me, and he insisted that we're going to fly in business class together. During that trip, my professors were proud to meet him, but it is in that trip that we noticed the initial symptoms of his illness start to kick in. Even after his first surgery, his dedication never wavered. I had the privilege of staying with him in Germany for a few months after he recovered. In those months, we took daily walks, brainstormed on his talking points, and prepared for his upcoming engagements. The engagements which I have elaborated on in his eulogy. The only difference now that it was once again the two of us, is that instead of being fish, I'm working for the two of us. In Germany, I have been traveling with him across the world. We were married, we came down, until Portugal. The reception was nothing short of statesman-like. Despite wisdom, he prepared for all these presentations and he delivered them with poise. He never needed talking points because he was speaking from his lived experience. In his, my father was surrounded by love and peace. We rallied resources for his care, we safeguarded his well-being, and we made sure that his family was always by his side. Indeed, no one could mess with him, not in life and not in his final moments. Rest well, Dad. I will carry your lessons with me forever and keep your bullfighting hat safe, a symbol of the wisdom you wore so effortlessly, the strength you carried with quiet dignity, and for me to follow. Thank you.
Supporters observed. Good morning again. Short sweet. Their day, the day you were born, it will be. I thought you leave us on that. Tonight, that you your children to back you. These days, I'm going on, and I'm about that I was going to call my father. We have that, and was the job of the you might go link that happen. I'm was and mental. So the city is I thought the crew, even we built a lifetime of happy memories, ones I will cherish forever, and which time can never erase. If I write them all down, I need more than a book. I accompanied you to the golf course. I quickly thought I was a natural. It became part of me. Your passion became mine. I had learned from the best. In 2007, when I got my handicap, which then allowed me to play professional golf around the world, you probably many that would become best and below. To improve my golf by playing and winning in some tournaments across the golf courses in the country. I remember you sent me to South Africa in 2009 for a 3-month training to golf skills. I gained confidence to bring my handicap down to 2 in a professional level. Thanks to you, we won the club match play foursomes in 2015, a tournament at the Royal Nairobi Golf Club, where our names are engraved, W. CHEBUKATI and J. CHEBUKATI, as per today. We are the first golf partners who are related to ever be champions in Royal Nairobi Golf Club. We both also have a hole-in-one at the same club. On the golf course, we connected as one being. Golf time was your idea. Those moments when we did against each other, the rewards that came with most oppositions. Golf will certainly never be the same without you. Whenever you played golf with me and you could strategize on how to win every time, losing was not the one kind. I write this tribute. It feels like myself, but I find comfort in the Lord daily. Your life is hard to emulate, but I will do my best to live like you did.